Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
At Room to Room, there's no need to wait. Black Friday deals are going on now.
Full-size sleeper sofas starting at only $7.99, plus queen mattresses starting at only $5.99.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I hope all of y'all have had a fantastic Saturday, whether that was spent outside with these beautiful conditions or watching some football inside. I know we had some good games across our viewing area. I think we went unofficially 1 for 3 on our SEC football forecast. I know Alabama they lost today. Mississippi State is currently losing to the Missouri Tigers, but the Rebels did get their win against Florida. Almost had an upset, but pulled through at the very end. So we had a pleasant day across North Mississippi for today, but we have an even better day for tomorrow. We have a beautiful end to the weekend for our Sunday, seeing noticeably cooler temperatures, not significant, but definitely cooler than it was today. That's due to a cold front moving in overnight. We'll be discussing that later on in this broadcast, but most of us will continue to stay dry. That's not only for your Sunday, but technically into the start of the work week. We have those rain chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but these are very isolated in nature. If you get those rain chances or any rain, you are one of the lucky few here in North Mississippi. It's not until later on at the end of the work week where we really start to see all of us getting those rain chances, and that's when those rain chances will ramp up. That's for your Thursday and Friday, where we really see a system kind of move through North Mississippi. We've been tracking that all weekend long and will continue to do so as we get ready for the work week ahead. But let's take a live look out here all across North Mississippi this evening. This is out in Maben, 66 degrees, feels like 66. You can kind of see some of the stars out in the sky, clear conditions out there, not much of a wind component either, just 3 miles per hour. Beautiful conditions out there in Maben for any of those enjoying any Saturday night plans outside as we wrap up our evening. Same thing out here in Crenshaw, 70 degrees, but feels like 75. Part of that's due to that wind direction kind of coming out of the south, bringing in some of that moisture. That will change once that cold front moves through our area, but still beautiful conditions, but still above average as we wrap up our evening. That cold front we were just talking about, that will change our wind direction more from the north, bringing in those drier conditions as we wrap up our weekend. One of the reasons why we are having a beautiful into our weekend here in North Mississippi. But let's take a live look out here in Caledonia, 63 degrees, feels like 63. Thankfully, that southerly motion and that wind not really affecting those out there, just outside of the Golden Triangle region. Beautiful conditions all across North Mississippi. And taking a look at those temperatures, I mean, we're still pretty warm by the 10 o'clock hour tonight. We're seeing these above average trends continue into the evening hours, seeing 62 in Houston, 61 Amory, 66 in Boonville, Oxford, 68 in Senatobia as well. You can even see coming in 70 coming out there in Greenville as well. So still above average for this time of year, but honestly, these are temperatures I enjoy the most. I'm not a fan of the cold temperatures, so these are beautiful conditions, in my opinion, as we continue into the evening. But the first 12 shows that we're seeing pretty much clear conditions as we wrap up our Saturday. Temperatures around 61 degrees, but we're pretty much sitting around 61 as we continue into the overnight hours. Seeing some cloud cover try to come back, but still mostly clear conditions. Even by the time we wake up for our Sunday morning church commute, we're going to still be in those low 60s, slowly warming our way back up into the mid 70s in those afternoon hours later on for our Sunday. But Mississippi Live Weather Radar showing those clear, calm conditions all across North Mississippi. Nothing to track out here, no colors to look at, and that is perfect. We are good to go for any late night plans that you have tonight and going into your Sunday. That's going to be the same thing that we'll see tomorrow as well. But one of the reasons for that, high pressure system to our south, really causing these calm, clear conditions, and a cold front starting to push towards North Mississippi. That's what's going to allow us to see that wind direction change from the south and come from the north, and that's what's going to keep us dry. Try to bring in some cloud cover with it, but we're still saying mostly clear. Most of that active weather is happening towards West Virginia and my friends up there, but other than that, we are pretty quiet down here in the southeast, and that is perfect as we continue into the weekend ahead. But Futurecast showing those calm, clear conditions and that southerly motion still blowing across North Mississippi, but that cold front already closer towards North Mississippi as opposed to that 6 o'clock broadcast earlier on today. That cold front is going to continue getting closer and closer towards North Mississippi, and you can kind of almost see some green splotches or bubbles underneath that cold front. That front going to do its best to offer any of us some rain chances, but of course this is happening overnight. We won't hear anything probably across the roof. We are staying mostly dry. If you get any rain chances or sprinkles, you are a lucky person, and the good thing is it's not dampening any outdoor plans because this is happening overnight. But still, dry conditions will be the story not only overnight but into the rest of your Sunday as well. That wind direction changing and coming from the north as well as you continue into your Sunday, but also that cloud cover pushing on through but also kind of leaving just as quickly as it came up. We are still seeing clear conditions even by the time we reach those afternoon hours. So any outdoor plans tomorrow will be a perfect day to spend them as you spend the rest of your Sunday outdoors. But the next 24 showing temperatures around 61 degrees by 6 o'clock, warming on up towards the low 70s by 12, and pretty much sticking in the low to mid 70s as you continue throughout your Sunday, seeing temperatures back down towards the low 60s during that 6 o'clock broadcast time. But notice we're seeing mostly clear skies all day long. That cloud cover doesn't start to build up until we get closer and closer towards that 10 o'clock broadcast time later on tomorrow. So main story for a broad sense, you have a beautiful Sunday coming up. And of course, we're going to be talking about those dry conditions, those clear conditions, but also those rain chances for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Pretty much seeing rain chances all week long. We're going to be breaking that down coming up in 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Rosie. Regional Rehab Center helps kids like me by offering speech therapy, occupational therapy, and dyslexia therapy. Your support helps so many of us get what we need to grow and succeed. Please help the Rehab Center.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us at Mississippi Live Weather at 10. Taking a live look out here in Tupelo, 64 degrees. Feels like 64 as well. Not much to look at. Pretty much just clear skies. You can even see a bright star out there off in the distance. Looks like another one right there. But that is a good thing. We don't really want to be looking at much activity or storms going on. We are seeing beautiful conditions as we continue into the evening ahead, especially out here in Tupelo, but also out here in Winona. 64 degrees, feels like 64 as well. Always love it when that temperature and feels like values match up. 9-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the south as well, but enjoy those southerly winds because that will start to shift more northerly overnight and into your Saturday. But the day planner showing temperatures around 61, still very constant. I mean, we are sticking around the low 60s, upper 50s for some, as our overnight low is going to be a mild above average night, but still seeing mostly clear conditions all night long as we continue and get ready for the Sunday ahead. Futurecast still showing that southerly motion as we continue into the overnight hours. Clear conditions all across North Mississippi. I mean, honestly, nothing to look at except that cold front starting to get closer and closer towards North Mississippi. It'll start kind of crossing into our area post midnight and on, bringing in some of that cloud cover and chances of rain. We're of course going to remain dry here across North Mississippi. We can see that wind direction already changing, coming out of the north as that cold front continues to push through our area, bringing in that cloud cover, but not really going to last that long here in North Mississippi. Those low temperatures, like I mentioned earlier, pretty much low 60s across most of our viewing area, upper 50s for most as well. So definitely still above average and a warm start to the day. But thankfully, we're still seeing cooler temperatures on the back half as well. But that day planner, checking out your church evening or morning, afternoon, evening plans. Starting off the day around 61 degrees by 7 o'clock, seeing mostly clear skies. We're going to continue seeing that all day long while slowly warming up towards the mid 70s, especially for any evening plans. You might have more of a cloudy sky above, but cooler conditions as well, already dropping pretty much lower than what those lows are going to be tonight. We'll see cooler temperatures tomorrow, but that'll be a good way to wrap up our Sunday. Coming back to Futurecast, we can still see that cloud cover all across North Mississippi, but still seeing mostly clear conditions as we transition further and further into the day. That northerly wind pretty much drying out all that cloud cover, not really allowing it to stick around much here in North Mississippi. Seeing those clear skies, especially lunchtime and on into the afternoon hours. So it will be a beautiful day to spend outdoors. Some of that cloud cover trying to come back from Arkansas, crossing the Mississippi River into the evening hours, but still mostly clear conditions by the time we are wrapping up our Sunday. Those high temperatures definitely across the spectrum in regards to the 70s. You can see upper 60s, 68 in South Haven, 69 Corinth, Boonville, Iuka, Red Bay. But the further south you go, maybe in the Golden Triangle region, 77 in Starkville, 78 in Columbus and Macon, 78 in Kosciuszko, 78 Greenwood, Belzona, and 77 out there in Greenville as well. So definitely across the board, but still noticeably cooler than it was today, thanks to that cold front moving in overnight. Those heat and seas keeping us right there with those actual temperatures. So we're going to feel like those temperatures are reading outdoors. We're not getting bumped up into the low 80s, especially for those that were reading coming in at 78, 79 degrees across North Mississippi. But let's continue into the Futurecast to track out the rest of your Sunday evening. Still seeing those cloudy, partly cloudy conditions for your Sunday evening, kind of trying to blanket half of our viewing area while the northern half continues to remain clear. That cloud cover sticking around the southern portion, almost just trying not to move. But with that comes some rain chances overnight and into your Monday morning. Could be a soggy start for some of us, especially those in Winona, Grenada, Greenwood, Chula, Shelby, Clarksdale, and maybe Cleveland as well. Those are our rain chances, very isolated in nature, not really a widespread event. Most of us continue to stay dry, especially the further east you go in our viewing area. But those in the Delta definitely could see soggy conditions as you wake up for your Monday. But tracking this out further, we can still see those rain chances try to push across North Mississippi. Still very isolated in nature, barely popping up. I mean, you got to zoom in to see these tiny little circles all across Futurecast. But also what's responsible for this is a warm front. You're going to see it pop up right here. There it is. There's that low pressure system all the way out in Oklahoma and Arkansas. That's warm front is trying to provide some lift to this moisture and parcels in our air to give us some rainfall affecting the lucky few. But as we continue into your Monday evening, those rain chances are going to move on out and we are seeing a whole lot of dry conditions across North Mississippi. That's why we have your 20% for your Monday, even into your Tuesday and Wednesday, if that gives you a glimpse on how rare those rain chances will be as we continue into the work week ahead. But thankfully, those temperatures also decreasing as well, pretty much low 70s, upper 60s across most of North Mississippi. I think the highest now that we're coming in is 75 in Greenwood, Belzona, and Greenville. Everyone else, we're starting to see more yellow, kind of oranges pop up. That is good to see as we continue into the work week, especially since we're in these above average conditions. But those heat and seas keeping us right there with those actual temperatures, maybe cooling us off a degree or two as we continue into Monday. But still, we got a beautiful Sunday ahead, a beautiful weekend. But thankfully, some better conditions are on their way here in North Mississippi. 7-day forecast shows that high of 74 for your Sunday, cooling off towards 70 for your Monday. But those rain chances, very consistent for your work week. 20% for your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Very isolated in nature. Not everyone's going to see those rain chances. In fact, a majority of us won't, hence why they're lower. But Thursday, you can see 30% chance of thunderstorms. That's due to some prefrontal activity as this line of system tries to make its way and moves closer and closer towards North Mississippi. And that's why you have a 60% for your Friday. That's going to be a system that we have been continuing to track out all weekend long and will continue to do so for your Sunday, but definitely all work week as well, as those models continue to give us more and more information as that system gets closer and closer towards North Mississippi. But no better way to stay updated than with the Mississippi Live weather app. Here's a QR code for both iOS and Android. We appreciate all the support you've given us, and we want to make sure that app is top notch, especially once we get towards situations like that cold front making its way closer and closer towards North Mississippi. But we'll be live later on tomorrow at 6 and 10 to give you the very latest on those rain chances, but more importantly, talking about current conditions and the current conditions coming up for your Monday and Tuesday as well. Seeing pretty sunny skies as we continue and wrap up our weekend. But I hope everyone has had a fantastic Saturday. I look forward to spending my Sunday evening with y'all at 6 and 10 tomorrow. So y'all go out, enjoy the rest of y'all's evening, have a fantastic front half of your Sunday, and I'll see y'all on the back half at 6 and 10.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.